Hey, it's Daniel. Don't get overwhelmed. I know that there's a lot going on and people are scared and or just frustrated and annoyed and bothered by certain things. So in this video, I recommend that you get a notebook, turn to a clean page. And so when you're overwhelmed, one of the things that's happening is that there's some kind of a list going on in your mind and you're freaking out about it. So with the notebook, what you want to start doing is start writing down each of those things. So it might take a moment to breathe, and you might even have to tap on it before you start writing, but you just want to start writing down what are some of the things that are going on. So maybe fear, you could just write down how you feel. So fear, or I need to get more food, or I need to make that call, or a worry like what's going to happen with my money. Or if you know somebody who is having more trouble than you are, you could be worried about them. So just keep writing down what is popping up for you and going on in your mind, and feel what that feels like in your body. So when you tap on it, you're tuning into what you're feeling in your body, because the fight or flight is your brain doing things, but it's sending chemicals into your physical body. It's a good thing that it does this, but it's meant to be used in a crisis that's supposed to come and go, like jumping quickly to avoid getting hit by a car. Or if somebody's going to attack you, you can either run or you can fight them. So that's why it's called the fight or flight. But what's going on now isn't like that. This isn't going to go away quickly. So you have to get out of fight or flight mode. This is not going to help you. It reduces your immune system. It causes you stress. It's going to cause you pain. That constant stress causes pain. So if you've got chronic pain, this is the worst time. And I understand. So that's why I'm offering this video, so that you can calm that down. This is not going to help, and it's just going to be painful, and you're just going to suffer, and it's totally unnecessary. So if you're home, especially if you're homebound, you could just be tapping all day long and you could feel okay. We can still have our normal emotional reactions about what's going on, but to live in a state of stress is completely counterproductive, and you're just going to stress other people out anyway. So start tapping on the side of your hand and start breathing just a little bit deeper, and start tuning in to what it feels like in your body. And if you don't have words for it yet, sometimes in the very beginning of tapping on yourself, you could be so stuck in your head that you don't even know what you're feeling. So this is how I handle that. So repeat after me, either out loud or in your mind. Sometimes I do it out loud, even when I'm by myself. So even though I feel this way, even though I have all these feelings and worries and fears, and I feel it in my body, I can feel what's going on. I don't know what you call that, but this feeling, right here and right now, I'm okay. And I like that ending part of the setup statement, because for most of us, we are okay. If you look around your room, you're safe in whatever room you're in. Even if there's noise going on outside, people are still alive and they're just doing their thing. Even if they're fighting, even if you're listening to people fight, they're just trying to cope. And so you're learning a better coping tool. And maybe you can help them. Maybe you can be a source of calm for others in this. So let's do that a couple more times. So even though I feel what I feel, and even though I have these fears and worries and concerns, and I'm not even sure what I'm afraid of, right here and right now, I'm okay. Even though I feel what I feel, and it is kind of scaring me, and I am feeling overwhelmed, and it's too much, right here and right now, I'm okay. And then tapping through the points, eyebrow point. I feel worried, side of the eye. And you can even slow down the tapping if you want, if you're feeling really overwhelmed. Just slow it down and breathe. I feel so overwhelmed. I feel scared. I'm so nervous. I feel nervous in my body. I guess my fight or flight is kicking in. And under the arm. But I feel overwhelmed. And then top of the head. Nice breath in. All right, so one round, and just check in. And so what I'm recommending is, and sometimes I'll just draw a line so that I know that it's sort of round one, round two, just to track it a little bit. And then now, from just a little bit calmer, write down the things that are on the top of your mind. So it could be exactly the same. Still scared. Maybe it's less. That's fine. I mean, that's kind of the goal of this. Still scared. Still worried. Now annoyed. So, which is a little bit less than that intense overwhelm. So, annoyed at certain things. I'm not specifying exactly. I mean, if you know exactly what you're worried about or annoyed at, then write that down because you can use that list later. Sometimes this turns into a list of things you actually have to take care of. So speaking of which, so there's that bill I still have to pay because even if we all, no matter what happens, like we still have to pay our bills. So send that payment. And I might put that aside because, with a little bit of clarity, I know that that's actually a list on things I have to do. Oh, speaking of which, I want to clean the kitchen today. Today is cleaning the kitchen day, not just regular dishwasher stuff, but a little bit deeper because today is Thursday. So I have to do the stove. So cleaning the stove. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. If you're overwhelmed, get organized. If you're stuck at home and you're not used to this, you have to get organized. You've got to schedule when you clean certain parts of the room. You have to schedule every week which day you do bills and money and all that other stuff. If you're an entrepreneur and you work at home, this isn't all that much different than you had before, but you could step it up a notch. If you've got kids, good luck with that. So I don't really know what you're supposed to do about that. Love them more. So tap in front of them because even if you're not tapping on them, if you tap on you, you're showing them self-calming, self-soothing in a very healthy, loving way. And it actually, science has proven that it calms them down too. If they see that you're calm and they know that you're calm, they pick that up and it will calm them down. So don't hide and tap in front of them. And you don't even have to make them do it. You know what happens eventually? They just start doing it because they're just going to mimic you, especially if it's very small children. Okay, let's do another round. So just checking in with how you're feeling. It may not be less, but it's probably at least different. Might be a little bit less, but you might be you might be able to narrow it down, pinpoint a little bit more, aiming for that. So maybe you feel it instead of everywhere. Now you just feel it in your heart or your chest, or your throat is closing, or you feel that weight on your shoulders. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel. So side of the hand, either hand. So just tuning in with how you feel And it's better if you do a setup statement for how you actually feel in the moment. Even though I still feel overwhelmed and I still feel worried and I still feel scared, it's a little bit less and I have a touch more clarity. I do have a list of things to do, but I'm not as overwhelmed. So, right here and right now, I'm okay. Even though I still feel worried and scared, maybe annoyed, frustrated, and all of this is making me feel overwhelmed. Right here and right now, I'm okay. Even though I still feel overwhelmed because of all that's going on, I feel it in my body. I feel it here. It feels like my throat's closing. It feels like my head is spinning. It feels like my heart is clenching or my gut is wrenching. This weight on my shoulders. Right here and right now, I'm okay. And then going through 3 setup statements, if you pinpoint one part that you're really feeling more than others, then tap on that. So pick the part that you're feeling that you're going to tap on, and that's your reminder phrase. So I'm going to use various ones to, show you examples, but you could say, I feel my heart tightening. And you would say that on every point. Or it's hard to breathe. Or I'm finding it hard to breathe. Or I feel suffocated. I feel terrified. I'm so angry. I'm so overwhelmed with all of this. So overwhelmed. It's too much. Nice breath in, draw a line, check in, make a list. Less scared, but more clear about what my fears might be. So if I'm afraid of, one of the things that's hard with our current situation is the unknowns. We don't know how long things are going to go on for. Nobody knows. There's nobody who knows. God knows. Go to God. Seriously, go to God. Now is the time. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's a really good, not in an obsessive way, but in a useful way. Get your knowns. Get clear about what you do know. I know that's where a list of things to do is. That's what that's actually doing. I know I have to clean the stove. Now, why is that important? Is it important? We half of us could die in this, and I'm worried about cleaning my stove. No, I'm not worried about cleaning my stove. I don't really care about cleaning my stove. That has nothing to do with it. Although I do actually care about cleaning my stove. I could be on my deathbed and I'll be like, clean the stove. So for some of us, it's a real thing. I like a clean stove. So you know what? If I clean my stove today, now it's also stovetop cleaning Thursday, clean the stove. What it's doing is it's giving me one solid thing that I know, but it's also light. It's also, I'm not, going to start drinking again or something like that, or go turn to drugs or whatever. I could just clean the stove. I could structure my day, give myself a list of things to do just to cope, but this is a much better coping mechanism. And honestly, come on, I have to clean it anyway. This is inappropriate for us to be in a place of just, I don't care anymore. It doesn't matter. Not going to pay my bills, not going to clean. No, this is not the time to fall apart. We're overwhelmed. We have a list of things to do. We have all these fears and all these unknowns. Clean the stove, vacuum the floor, clean your floor, organize your papers, clean out a closet, because what if we're all okay? Wouldn't it be nice to get all that stuff done? Because many months from now, and you look back and you're like, oh, I totally could have cleaned out my closet. or started cleaning up the attic or something like that, you're going to regret it. So why don't you do it now? It's not a bad time to do it. All right, let's do another round. And just check. So with things that I've said, just check in with which part of those was the most frustrating for you. So if what I was saying was annoying, or it brought up things that you're annoyed about yourself, or and even things, well, I don't want to clean the stove. I still don't want to clean the stove. I don't want to clean the stove. But it might be a good thing to do. I know I'm harping on the stove. I'm just using it as an example. Because for you, it might be something else. Maybe you really do want to clean out a closet. Maybe you really do feel like there's something that you should be doing. I think we should bring that word back. Should is a really good word. It lets you know what you think you want to do. So yes, start making a list of shoulds. I should be cleaning out my closets. I should be cleaning out the attic. I should be cleaning. I should be organizing. I should be whatever. Make a list of the things you should do, and you tap on them to find out, get the clarity of what you want to end up putting on your list. The other thing about shoulds is, and back in the day, it used to be a really big thing. Like, you shouldn't say the word should because it's so judgmental. Like, I should be doing better. Well, there's something inside of you that's trying to have a voice. You can't just suppress that. So find out what it is. What do you think you should be doing? And tap on that. Why do you think you should be doing it? Is it just out of obligation or fear? So that's the part you want to tap down. But there might be some reason why you think you should be doing a particular activity or have a certain goal. So the tapping, you use all these words that are actually your real words. I should be doing this. I feel so bad. I feel so guilty. These are the things you want to tap on, because as you're calming down the fight or flight, you'll get clarity about what those things are for you. Okay. Even though I still feel overwhelmed, and I feel even more overwhelmed now because now I have this whole list of things that I should be doing right here and right now, I'm okay. Even though I still feel overwhelmed, and now I have this whole big list of things I should be doing, because Dan said to write down a list of what I should do. Right here and right now, I'm okay. Even though I still feel overwhelmed right here and right now, I'm okay. Let's tap through the points. I still feel overwhelmed. I still feel overwhelmed. 3 rounds of tapping is not going to fix my problems. There's some really scary stuff going on. My stupid stuff that I have to do at home isn't important enough. It's better that I worry about the bigger things that I have no control over. That's my sarcasm going in there. But that's what we're doing. I have to worry. I'd rather worry about all these other things and get myself overwhelmed instead of just taking care of what I have to take care of that's right in front of me. I still feel overwhelmed. Okay. So I think it was a little bit obvious what I was doing there, but that actually what was coming up for me. I'd rather be overwhelmed, worrying about what's going on, being scared about it, because there's something in us that feels like that's productive. Like, isn't it better to worry? Isn't it better to be upset? Isn't it better? Like, doesn't it show that we care? Doesn't it show that we want it to be different? I think there's a misperception of acceptance and serenity, of accepting something that's completely out of your control, that you're saying it's okay. So how about we clarify that? Being calm about a situation is not saying that the situation is okay. You are just taking care of yourself so that you can be in a much better place to handle it, if that's even possible. So here we have a worldwide crisis going on. What are you supposed to do about it? What do you think you're supposed to do about it? So in what way is it better to be worried and overwhelmed about what's going on when we could bring it in, What can I do? What can I do? What what should I do? What do I want to do? What do I think I want to do? And each of these things, I'm highly suggesting you write it down. Each of those things. What do I want to do? What should I do? What should they do? These are all tappable things. And then there's also like the what do I have to do or what must I do? You know, if you've got a family or, you know, I caretake my dad, like there's certain things I actually have to do, whether I like it or not. And that's not any different than a couple of months ago. It's the same. Life still is going on for those of us who are still here. So each round you can get a little bit more clarity and get yourself some lists and then start organizing it. So let's do one final round. Even though I still feel overwhelmed, I'm open to the possibility that I don't have to do everything. I'm open to the possibility that I don't have to do anything, that I can just do what I need to do for my world, the world that I'm responsible for, whether it's for myself or my family or people around me. What do I need to do? Even though I still feel overwhelmed, I'm open to the possibility that I could bring it in and get clarity about what I need to do, what's important for me to do. Even though I still feel overwhelmed, I'm open to the possibility that I could let go of the things that I don't need to do, that I can't handle. I'm tapped through the points. Releasing all this overwhelm, feeling this tension in my throat, feeling the tightness in my heart or my chest, all this nervousness, all these things I think I should be doing. Maybe I could do the things that I have to do. Maybe I can make a list of the things that I have to do and a list of the things that I want to do, even if it's caring about everybody else and all their fears. Because I do. I want to care. I want to care. If I'm overwhelmed because I'm worried about all these things I can't control, I'm not helping anybody. But if I'm calm, I can care about who else might be suffering, and I might actually be able to help them in some way. There's a lot of online groups opening up now for people to meet since they can't meet in person. So maybe you could find them or ask me, you know, message me. I have access to a lot of that. I've had to learn how to be sequestered for 2 years now, caretaking my dad. So this hasn't really changed my life all that much, except for the emotions about it. So keep tapping. I hope this video helps. Let me know if you want me to tap on something specific or click on my link and make an appointment with me, and I'll see you soon.